Rings of Power friends, get up. It is Wednesday night. I did go ahead and stay up till midnight tonight, folks. We have not pulled this stunt in a hot minute here on the channel. Am I tired? Yes. Did I just awaken from a nap on the couch that I probably shouldn't have taken because it only made matters worse? Yes, but we keep it fresh here. It wouldn't be this channel if we didn't have the occasional 1 a.m. rambling to liven things up and to test my limits and see if I can even still stay awake till not even that late of an hour into the wee morning. So thank you guys so much for coming back and joining. We are actually going to catch the midnight drop here in Pacific time for the Rings of Power episode 4, which already freaking puts us at the halfway point of this season. I'm curious which storylines we will follow tonight, since of course we've jumped around quite a lot in episode 3, focused mainly on the men and everything going on at Numenor, essentially the usurping of Muriel's throne. I did not think we were going to be dipping back into the House of the Dragon vocab when it came to this season, but here we are, coming for thrones, coming for claims. We are dusting off the rightful claim to the throne arguments here because Muriel's coronation has been absolutely commandeered by Pharazôn, and prediction, things aren't going to start to go well. Numenor is already threatening to fall into the ocean, and I feel like this is just the first little domino in an effect that will summon that sooner. Curious if we'll start to see shiz hit the fan over there, which it already has, but I guess I'm actually mainly very curious. Two things. Are Elrond and Galadriel gonna make it alive in one piece to Eregion to frickin' sniff out Anatar, and what the frick's gonna happen if Galadriel comes face to face with him? I'm imagining she'll be able to know what the frick is up, what the frick is going down, and I'm sure Elrond is gonna be real salty that they've now forged new rings for his BFF. He has schemed beyond the elves' reach, and also of course sabotaged any of their efforts to try to intercept and make it to Eregion, so we'll see if they frickin' can get there in one piece. And also, are Nori and Poppy alive? Last we saw their story, they were getting frickin' swept away in the tornado, and the more I watched that back, y'all, the more brutal it was. They are so little. Are they even gonna survive? So lots of questions, lots of fate open-ended here as we head into tonight's episode, and the clock has struck midnight, so I'm gonna sit down, shut up, and finally watch this because every second I get more and more tired. So without further ado, let's get into this. I imagine we have another hour-long episode to stay awake for, so let's just jump right in. Episode 4, Eldest. Oh, frickin' based on this thumbnail. Let's not delay the inevitable.
We shall need an archer, 2 swordsmen. I trust you can recommend a set.
Yes, I can recommend an archer and 2 swordsmen. Who else should we take with us? Commander.
Bring everyone. Who do you have on deck? Anybody and everyone. It will be interesting though to see Elrond, who has taken the more reserved political, role in everything now, assumed this position in combat and warfare here. Probably not necessarily fully unaware of what he's bargained for, but I'm glossing over these gorgeous freaking wide shots. Oh my gosh. They certainly have not dialed anything down when it comes to the views.
No earthly force could do this. This is the work of Sauron.
To circumvent it, we shall either have to turn due north, adding 2 weeks to our journey.
2 weeks?
We'll get up to Eregion much quicker.
No, not another one, please. That's like 7 jump scares total.
Sauron means for us to go that way.
The enemy is doubtless watching both roads, which makes it more critical than ever to reach Celebrimbor at speed.
It's already too late. But Elrond's right, just assume everything is under his eye.
Opinion heard, Lieutenant. We go south, men up. This company will not take counsel from that trinket. Nor will you. To abide by those terms, you will leave now and return to Lindon.
I do not wish to see any of this company slain.
Well, that's just a given. There's obviously more to it than that. She needs vengeance. Oh god. How far did they fly? Alright, we found other signs of life.
So you found the goat.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Mr. Bombadil.
There are some stars above your hill.
I had hoped that...
He is so sunburned, wow. Hello. Oh, ow. Ouch. That'll give you a splinter. Oh, hello. Oh my god. Anybody else seen Raised by Wolves? That just gave me such flashbacks to the finale. When the woman becomes a tree. Are y'all- oh right, you guys frickin' flew. Like into a cyclone. Could not have been an easy landing. Ow. Oh please, oh please, please, please.
Poppy!
Oh thank you.
Get up! Did you see him? Oh, who'd you think? Never mind, where's he? Where are we?
Oh shnikes. How far did they backtrack? Well, they are just getting beat up.
I think we lost him.
Where'd you lot come from?
Us? Hartfords live here.
What's an orphan?
Well, you are.
I'm nobody. Well, my mum calls me Mary Mac.
I'm Poppy.
Oh god, it's happening. The best friend has found her love interest.
I'm Lori. Where are you going?
Nowhere.
Take us with you.
No outsiders in the village.
Village? I think we were coming with you, or I will turn you in myself this moment. Water thief.
Now they're the mysterious ones. Whoa. Now this is giving me Star Wars vibes. Now this is pod racing. This is so Star Wars coded, is it not? This is Rings of Power Tatooine. I'm sorry, I can't.
It doesn't seem natural.
That's because we're not Harfoots. We're Stores. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't feed you leg, limb and joint to those Gaudrum hunting you out there. This friend of yours. Who was he anyways?
He's a giant. He's a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Well, the only wizard under these skies is the Dark Wizard. And the last friend we need is a friend of his. Tie him up.
What dark wizard?
Yeah, what dark wizard?
These stars
Indeed.
will be much more powerful than we had anticipated. He makes his way north now, towards the Hermit.
And what of the halflings?
They will not evade us for long. I swear my life on it.
I will see to the Eastar myself.
Curious what these men's deal is. I feel like they are just indebted to this dark wizard. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just out doing all this just as his servants.
Who are you? Old folk used to call me Bombadil. Tom Bombadil. What was it that you were hoping to find under those stars of yours?
I was hoping to find my friends. What are you?
Don't you know my name yet? I am old Eldest. That's what I am. Tom was there before the river and the trees.
I love that he's talking in third person.
Easy. This magic. Can you teach it to me? Might you teach me how to wield a star?
It's yours to wield already, if you prove yourself worthy of it. You showed today that you're not. Yet.
I was meant to find you, wasn't I? What is it?
We're not alone. You're not the first Eastar who's eaten honey by my fire. The Dark Wizard. Now he controls much of Faerun.
His evil will spread.
Not without an ally far more powerful even than himself.
Mm.
Sauron.
There will be no end to burning till all Middle-earth is ashes. Great deeds are left to the hands they were placed in.
You mean my hands?
Is it my task to stop the fire? Is it my task to face Sauron?
Your task is to face them both.
Well, this doesn't look great.
What is this place?
Probably not great.
Known to men as the Barrow-downs. This was where they laid their lords and kings to rest.
I feel no rest here.
Fear not. Dead men are no threat.
Okay, well, we know who the first to die is gonna be when the jump scare happens. Okay. It's always the one who has doubts. Stop, I can't. Don't.
I thought I heard
Heard.
The memory of a song.
Oh. No, no.
Harding is from Lindon.
The king sent a dispatch to warn Celebrimborg. This dispatch. We must go from this place.
You think? With haste, y'all. Oh! Oh, frick. What the frick are we about to... That could not have been a worse sound. The squelch! Oh! What the Oh! Here! Ooh!
Prepare yourselves.
Oh, fudge.
Barrow waits.
Oh my flip. Oh. Let's go, gang. Come on. Slice and dice. Well, that doesn't help.
Steal your arrow.
They're impervious to our weapons.
Hold fast. Come with me. Where are you going?
Are y'all going in? No. They're still besties, yes.
Take it. According to law, only the blades with which they were buried will return such creatures to rest.
I think it's safe to say that something has awoken them.
No. Someone.
I say we raid their camps.
We'd be starting a war. Every minute we waste is another Theo still out there. We've got to keep searching.
You'd do better to look north. I've spent weeks searching these lands. Promise you there are wild men there, and worse.
Let's not waste any daylight. Gather water and provisions.
Now he's suspicious.
You say you spent time among the wild men, Estrid. How much? Did they ever do you harm?
Around there rotting.
I ask because I noticed a wound on your neck.
Estrid, what is this?
The wild men do it to hide the mark of Adar. We would have caught her at the gate had she not come in with you.
As a wild man.
She's going to lead us to all the others.
She's not a double agent, though. She wanted to get rid of it. Or was it just to disguise it so that she could infiltrate?
What was your plan? You were using me all along. Wait, you don't even have a betrothed.
Would you rather I died in Mordor?
I don't know.
I don't think... No, she probably had no choice. Dead tree is never a good sign.
Might be easier to balance if I have use of my hands.
And easier to escape.
Come on, unlock me.
It's all right. Give me your hand.
Now this is the never-ending story. This looks like what gobbled up our tax. Okay, I'm getting flashbacks. Oh! Ugh. So much squelching. Oh my god. Oh, what the frick? What in the... its mouth has a mouth. Ew! I was not expecting that. Oh.
What was that?
There are nameless things in the deep places of this world. This one we shall call supper.
Well, frick. Oh, they're just strolling on like they own the place. Oh.
To what do we owe the pleasure?
Oh my god, the height difference. They're so tall. Throwback to when I said maybe these men aren't that bad. I was mistaken.
The Harfoots. Where are they?
The only halflings we know about in this desert are Stoors.
Do you know why we wear these masks? Defy the Dark Wizard. You will find out for yourselves.
They're so tortured, it sounds like. Do they have to serve the Dark Wizard? Are they indebted to him? Did he inflict this on them? This curse that only he now can lift? Create the problem and be the solution and then just string them along? She proved herself by rescuing you, did she not? Yeah. I hope I don't regret rooting for her. But so many of the humans who joined Adar, it wasn't by choice.
I believe you meant for you to decide whether or not to use it. I'm sorry. Isildur, you see.
Oh, well.
Forgiveness doesn't come to folk like me.
What did I just say about regret? He knew it. He was ready. Well, frick. Just as I was starting to trust her, now I'm on eggshells. Ow. Oh. Oh.
Hast thou ever touched axe to wooded life?
Oh shit, he did.
To my great pain, I have but...
Oh, shnikes. I was not expecting this.
It is not for felling trees.
Does it, Bell?
Orcs. We saw what they did. Is that why you're here? Why you're so angry?
Burning branch calls to us from afar. We were too late.
They are no different from men! Branch breakers and trunk splitters all!
They're like that. They're going out. I missed now. I got out.
Don't take him, don't take him. Don't take his hand.
Forgiveness takes an age.
We will see to it that the trees of this wood are left in peace.
This is why I freaking love him. He's such a good soul. Phew.
We have tended this forest, and the only sound here was the light upon the moss.
Thea.
And the breathing of the leaves. We know peace.
Estrid.
Ah, that timing. No.
Hagen,
She's like, oh.
I can't believe you're here. Look at you.
That is so rough. That is so rough. I was beginning to question if her betrothed was all just an act, a story. You know it starts getting bad when they start effing with the trees. Oh shit!
Oh, treachery.
That trail.
Correggio, my liege.
Right where we're going.
A legion of orcs have marched into Elvish lands. We are all of us at war.
Word of this must reach the High King before our host sails for Mordor.
Ah! No way. Is it gonna heal him? Okay, I've been a ring doubter for a hot second, y'all, but I didn't know they could do that.
Until Lindon. I will occupy them as long as I am able.
What? Oh.
Take it.
Shoot. Now he's gonna get a taste for it.
Elrond.
I don't think any of them realized that it could heal. Oh god. Put them in their place.
Tell us where the others are. I'll let you keep the left.
Wow! Okay! Save that horse! Oh my god. Just putting on a clinic. Shout out to the stunt team.
She sacrificed herself to save us all.
No, you are mistaken, Kemnir. Is Agor Uan Edraith Anwen. Agerian Edraith and Egor. Hurry!
Oh, give her some credit. That's not just it.
These are Elven lands. Go back to the shadow.
No, frick. No.
Ellen sila lumen om en tiervo. Heavenly altaria.
Of course, of course, of course. I shouldn't be surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised in the slightest. Oh, frick. Okay, but Elrond's last words there. She's not doing it to save us. She's doing it to save the ring. I can't decipher whether that is coming from a place of he's still salty. He's still projecting so much disappointment onto her and, you know, referring to it as the trinket, you know, every way he can, trying to diminish it and frown upon it. And obviously, he's still the biggest doubter, but he's seen it now in action here. I don't think any of them freaking knew that it had healing capabilities. I think that came as a shock to all of them, Elrond especially. I'm trying to decipher whether he meant that in still coming from a place of judgment of, no, don't give her credit, she's not doing this to save us, she's doing it solely for the ring, like as if that's the only thing she cares about and is trying to preserve, as if she didn't just say to him up front before they embarked on this, like, I'm doing this because obviously I have to avenge myself, but I am trying to prevent as many losses of elven lives as I possibly can. So help me out here. Did he say that as still a way of discrediting her to suggest that she's so overtaken by the ring now? Like that's what's driving her, not necessarily her, you know, will to try to save us, but to save the ring? Like, or is that coming from a place of acknowledgement too, of like, now that he's seen what it's really fully capable of, that the power that it yields, is that a knock at her, or is he admitting the ring is worthy of protecting now, and now she's doing this so that we can go and make a break for it because this is now our task as well, to save the ring? I can't tell what he meant by that, if it was an admission and acceptance now that he had seen it in real action in a way that none of them had expected, but he's been the most skeptical, the most realistic about it, trying to stay grounded and acknowledge, you know, as he said, we need to just operate under the assumption that Sauron is watching everything we're doing, every step we're taking. So I don't fault him for operating under that assumption of we cannot necessarily trust a freaking thing, and we have to just assume that Sauron knows everything we're doing, and if anything, might be influencing our path, might be influencing our actions. So I can't tell there if that was, you know, him accepting that the ring needs to be protected, or him still not necessarily believing that Galadriel, even without the ring on her finger, wants to do the right thing. Well, frick, now she's back in the hands of frickin' Adar. I hope the truth comes out about their mutual foe. Unfortunately, the roles are reversed, and Galadriel didn't exactly treat Adar with the most kindness when he was her prisoner. But I hope that they come to the conclusion real quick that they have a common enemy. You know, she was hesitant to believe that he had actually defeated Sauron. Obviously, she's felt it all along as she confesses to Elrond, like, that this has always been a pressing matter that they will have to tackle and face. So she kind of laughed in Adar's face when he first confessed. And I don't believe Adar actually believes either that he ever actually killed Sauron. I think he's obviously operating in frickin' fear. They're frickin' marching into Elven lands to go and try to get him. So I don't know if this can bind them necessarily. Like, the enemy of my enemy is a friend. They both are trying to eliminate the same foe here, but I can't necessarily envision a scenario in which they're teaming up per se, but they at least have a common enemy. So, you know, she does have something that he wants. He wasn't getting the answers obviously from Halbrand. I wonder if he'll be hesitant to accept it or believe it, if either of them will believe anything the other says, because I don't think they trust each other in the slightest bit at all. So even if Galadriel was to say, you've been duped, Halbrand, who presented himself to you, you know, as the king of the Southlands, he's actually frickin' Sauron, you were played, we've all been played. I don't know if Adar would necessarily buy into that, if they would believe a word out of each other's mouths. I do think Adar doesn't believe for a hot second that he actually did kill Sauron. I think his skepticism and his fear is growing by the second, so I'm curious to see how this is gonna frickin' go down. But I do feel like she might have regrets about perhaps, you know, their first encounters. Like, I don't know, again, he was in this for frickin' 2 seconds, but he's such an interesting, I don't know where I stand with him necessarily. I am not rooting for him by any means because he's committed terrible atrocities to put himself into this position of power, but then when you see him kind of behind the closed doors, behind the curtain, how protective he is over, you know, his children as the father, you know, this kind of responsibility of wanting to free them and liberate them and whatnot. It's like, okay, fair, but did you have to go about it in the worst possible way? Like, I'm scared for him, and I'm curious to see how this is going to test his character. You know, I don't blame Galadriel for the way that she had treated him previously when he was her prisoner, but I wouldn't be shocked if she maybe has some regrets about that now that the tables have turned. But she's freaking fearless. She's got this. Here with the stranger, it's just, this storyline has escalated so freaking much, and there I was saying, you know, we have so many more answers. We have so many more answers, of course, with him. Not necessarily, we still don't know his identity or really anything, but the fact that just by virtue of being able to speak and, you know, he's not entirely mute, you know, not everything about him is a mystery. We at least have his internal dialogue now, his own inner monologue and thoughts, and his quest, this goal for him. So that's not necessarily so much of a mystery, but of course still his identity and his role in all of this. And I do love where this has, you know, poised him of, I think this was my purpose, to find Tom Bombadil. Wind up here, of course, in this scenario with the Dark Wizard, who now we know has had a clutch on all these lands. These men who are serving him, I don't know how to get a read on them necessarily. I feel like has a grip on them. He has a grip on everything, clearly, but I feel like he has controlled them in a way, and if anything, I think has inflicted whatever this curse is upon their flesh that they've referred to, that they're just indebted to him now to try to remedy, to try to break free. Like, he'll reward them by curing what he inflicted upon them. I think it was a scenario of create the problem and be the solution to have them in the palm of your hand so that they'll serve you. I don't think he actually has intentions at all of curing them necessarily. So in a way, I'm intrigued because I feel like they are servants indebted to him, you know, seemingly extremely tortured. I'm scared to say that maybe they're not necessarily all bad, and this is all just obviously in the name of trying to remedy whatever has been, again, inflicted upon them. I don't know. I'm probably gonna regret saying maybe they're not all bad, and there we are, they freaking punched a woman straight up 2 seconds into meeting and marching into the place like they owned it. So I am most intrigued about maybe even more so them than this dark wizard here, but I imagine a confrontation is inevitable between him and the stranger now. But I am curious to see, I do feel like it is about to maybe start bleeding into the larger, context of everything now that the stranger does know, or at least have questions, or at least has this idea of Sauron and what threat this figure poses, even if he doesn't necessarily know or remember who he is, but the larger role he might have in, stopping or preventing or intervening somehow in all of that as it's unfolding. But I feel like he's about to have a much bigger piece in all of that, like fitting into that puzzle. I feel like soon. I feel like once I want him to come face to face now with this dark wizard to hash it out, to get some freaking answers. And based on these like flashbacks that he's been having in his dreams, he's having this recurring, nightmare with flashes of, I think it's figments of his past. I think it's some brief snippets of his actual memory, what he can conjure from his memories or subconscious. And this dark wizard is part of it. So I feel like this dark wizard knows him. I don't know. Did they have a confrontation in the past that somehow resulted in the stranger here getting, sent up into the sky and then coming back down in a comet? Who knows? I feel like that could have been the cause, that they've already had some sort of altercation. So I do feel like the dark wizard probably knows exactly who the stranger is, and that'll be the key to piecing together his identity. It is all just thickening, but I feel like we are on the cusp now. I think, war is truly about to break out. I think what we saw in season 1 with the birth of Mordor and the Southlanders trying to protect themselves, of course, against Adar and his forces, I feel like that was probably just like a taste. And that's when things started to get hype, but I feel like that's like probably just a fraction of what we are about to embark on here. I'm starting to feel real spoiled after that 3-episode premiere that we had last week. Now I'm just like, you mean to tell me we only have one? But I am especially really curious, but perhaps more so fearful here for Galadriel. Not that I'm afraid that she can't take care of herself or handle herself, but so much of her story and her mission from season 1 was trying to prove herself in a way after having everyone mutiny against her, losing her company, basically abandoning the one opportunity she might ever have to return to Valinor. She had so much on the line seemingly at that point in time that she was striving to freaking just, maybe that's why she had such blinders, she had such tunnel vision, that she was just relentlessly pursuing this to try to prove, perhaps maybe to herself at her core all along, that she could, defeat this enemy that's been looming over her, that it's always been on the back burner for her. And if anything, now it's been amplified this season. She was so persistent, so relentless, and it all just crumbled, and so did her credibility now. Like, truly everything she thought she had has been, jeopardized. So now the ring, in a sense, is kind of like the one smidgen of hope that she has, that she could remedy all of this, like, even if everything else has gone to shiz and it's perhaps her fault, perhaps, her wrongdoings and the deception that she fell for and everything that has led to these repercussions. At least at the end of it, she still has something, this trinket, as Elrond puts it, but something about the ring that she can cling to that's, yes, we don't necessarily even know the power, but this is the only chance I maybe even have now to right all of these wrongs and undo some of this. And if that's the only chance I have to freaking take it. So, I've been siding with Elrond a lot, I feel like, because he's been trying to have like a level head about this and have a third-party perspective and be like, freaking look at it like with some realism here, please. But at the end of the day, I'm fearful for Galadriel, because she has, I thought she had nothing left to lose in season 1, but if anything, she has so much more on the line here that she's personally, you know, fighting for, not only to prove herself again to her people, to the elves, and redeem that. I don't even know if redemption necessarily even matters to her at this point, but it's more so finding her own, like, rediscovering her own trust in herself, because I imagine she is just crippled with that fear of having already been deceived, and now she's, you know, heading into enemy lines here, enemy territory. So in spite of, obviously, she's super strong and fearless, I think they've struck this very interesting balance now with her, where at her core she's become extremely fragile. What's left to lose? You know, there is so much more on the line in a sense, but she's really already lost everything. And even when she thought she had the solution in her grasp and everything was going well according to plan, it shattered in front of her to realize all of that was for nothing. What's left to lose other than, like, you know, her own self, I think, is what I'm kind of just like, this is going to be a bit wild to explore now. And now that she's been separated from the pack, you know, Elrond has been there kind of to keep her grounded and really keep her in check, is what he's been doing. You know, he's kind of been holding her accountable for all of this. So, but now we'll see how she can operate without the ring necessarily, you know, like if that will have any sort of impact or whatnot, but, or if her separation from the ring will create some sense of yearning and desperation to have it back. We will obviously find out in time, but it's frickin' 1:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you guys so very much for watching this with me. Apologies if I looked tired during this, I am. Let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode and what your predictions may be going forward, and thank you so much for all the feedback on these Rings of Power reactions. I've been trying to answer comments, but I've been receiving so much more excitement this time around compared to season 1, where I feel like we were all kind of dodging a lot of, you know. It's been such a fun ride already, and I'm so excited for what the second half of this season. It's been 2 weeks and here we are. We already have one half to go. I'm excited to see what the second half has in store. I will see you guys next week for episode 5, but until then, I hope you guys are doing so well as always, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.